Mr. President, on this occasion of your birthday, this lovely lady is not only punctilious, but punctual. Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe. Perhaps there has been no one female who meant so much, who has done more. Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, Mr. President, for all the things you've done, the battles that you've won, the way you deal with U.S. Steel and our problems by the ton. We thank you so much. Everybody, happy birthday!
I can now retire from politics after having had Happy Birthday sung to me in such a sweet, wholesome way.
Morning, everybody. Well, we couldn't get you Marilyn Monroe, who seemed very drugged up. I think that it was actually kind of scary to watch her because you could tell that she was quite vulnerable. And also she and JFK were having sexual relations at the time. But
poor Jackie, man.
Poor Jackie had to sit through that. But here at Mayday, we don't have those kinds of conflicts. So we
do not.
We do not. So we can wish our beloved friend here from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast where she is today a happy, happy birthday to Dana Dubois.
Thank you. I'm blushing. Thank you. That was, as soon as it started, I was like, oh my God, Marilyn Monroe.
I know, I saw you
amazing.
Laughing. I was like, yes.
Oh my God, I was dying. That was amazing. Thank you, ladies. I have said before, there are very few people I would get up so early for on a Saturday morning and be live at 7 a.m. And that's
your birthday.
Doubly true on my birthday. But I couldn't miss this. I have, to me, it's important to spend my birthday doing things that I want to be doing more of in the year. And I definitely want to be doing more of this. So I was like, of course, I'm going to start my day with you two. Adjusting position. I'm still probably a little tired because I didn't wake up very long ago, but I'm like, I'm here. I'm ready to do this. Let's talk about our weeks and celebrate my birthday.
Yay.
I'm a Leo. We Leos love birthdays typically. So
29
Cheers,
again.
Sandy.
29 again. Well, I'm not going to disclose how old you are, Dana. You can do that if you want, but I will just say this. As somebody who's in the same decade as you are, we are both in our 50s. It is a great decade. I don't understand why everybody is like,
Oh yeah.
upset about aging. I have no problem with it. And I think you just get older like fine wine.
Yeah.
Age and more experienced. And you know what you're talking about a little bit more. Not all the time, but a lot of the time.
I think you know when you don't know though. Once you're, you're like,
and you
I
can
don't
say
know.
so. And you
I
can say
do
so.
every day. I will admit to things I don't know. I am not shy about disclosing my age. I actually think it's important to because
Mhm.
I didn't grow up with very many like role models of women who were aging the way I could see myself aging. And if I can do a little promotion, I'm running a 2-day sale this weekend on my paid subscribers on Substack, and it's 56% off for annual subscription. So I am very much outing my age. I am 56 years old today, and I'm proud of being 56 years old. So
Really?
so hi everybody. I'm going to put a link because at 56, we're just direct about what we want.
That's go, and everybody should subscribe to Dana, not just because she's running a sale, although that's a good reason, but also Dana, you have had, you know what I love, and it's just so wonderful that this came right around your birthday, the recognition that you've had for your amazing writing from
Thank you.
women who are not just people like us who just read your stuff because it resonates with us, but I mean, like you had Jane Pratt publish you and promote the shit out of what you wrote. I mean, I saw that on stuff. She was going nuts promoting your stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Jane Pratt is out there telling people what a great writer Dana Dubois is. Like, friends.
I know. I say this every day practically, that I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. I'm putting the link I'm just being a little link fairy today, to the story on another Jane Pratt thing. For anyone who doesn't know, Jane Pratt founded Sassy Magazine and then Jane Magazine. She's a Gen X icon. Like Sassy was the magazine for teens that we had never imagined, really. It was the antidote to the 17 and the young teen or young miss. I think it was called Young Miss. They may have both existed, but it wasn't a get a boyfriend and look pretty magazine. It was like a go live your life magazine. When we had her on the Daily Whatever show, I didn't realize this, but she was one of the very first, maybe the first, like mainstream publisher to run a teen romance story about two boys.
Wow.
And so Lawrence talked to her about what it meant to him as a closeted gay teen working in a bookstore to sneak the copy of Sassy Magazine and read it.
Wow. I didn't know
that. She's done amazing work. And so she's on Substack now, another Jane Pratt thing, and getting to know her through bringing this story to life with her was, it was an amazing gift. And to have it happen my birthday week was just like.
Can I ask you, ladies, and anybody in the chat who's a lady or a man, I don't want to limit this just to the ladies. Michelle, I don't know, this may be the thing that the age difference between us, because Michelle's, I think you're 8 years younger than I am, right?
Yeah, I think we're 73.
Yeah. So I'm 53, yeah.
No, but you were born in 73?
I was born in 73.
Okay, so we are 9 years apart.
9 years apart. Okay, so maybe this part, Michelle, I don't know. I'm just going to say it. Do you guys remember the Cosmo quiz?
Oh yeah, I took so many Cosmo quizzes.
So here's the thing. So once again, in the weird world of whatever, I had this friend, and first of all, the Cosmo quiz was psychotic, right? Because the Cosmo quiz was like insane. But if she would never have a copy of Cosmo in her apartment. This is like right after college. Unless she was hooking up with guys that she should not have been hooking up with. Like she was like dating some guy that she should not have been dating. And that in which case she'd like take the Cosmo quiz, she'd look at the Cosmo horoscope. And I remember
hilarious.
That was her tell. That was her tell. And I remember so well that she was dating this guy who was awful, 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 awful. She was in law school at the time. So this is like mid-90s. Awful, 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 awful.
Okay.
Terrible. And we're all like, dump him. He's so abusive to, not physically abusive, but just he was like verbally abusive, just a horrible guy. And I'm sure he's working on Wall Street now, but because he's that kind of personality. And she's like, okay, I'm done with him. I'm done with him. And she swore that she was done with him. And I walk into her apartment and I see a copy of Cosmo in her bedroom.
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, I knew it. I knew it. You did not dump him because you're still taking the Cosmo quiz. And you wouldn't be taking the Cosmo quiz if you weren't sitting there with your wheels spinning. She was like, I know, it's true. It's true. So
Oh my
it
God.
was like I'd walked in on them having sex, except I didn't. I walked in on her having a Cosmo thing.
Oh.
Flash forward many, many years later. I have become friends with the former editor of Cosmopolitan magazine. And I told her the story. And I go, do you understand that when you were running that magazine, how many of those Cosmo quizzes like shaped like how we thought about stuff, what we did? And she was like, you know, we didn't really know what the hell we were doing. We just went through them.
They just make shit up. I mean, I remember it was like 10 ways to make him, I don't know, whatever. And it was like, grab him here. And you're like, okay.
Anyway, I was like, you don't understand. That stupid Cosmo quiz is a seminal like event of my 20s every time Cosmo come out. And she's like, okay, calm down. It's like, oh my God. Like,
Oh, it's so funny. And
I know.
that was her tell is hilarious. I'm trying to remember. I just remember they were really like raunchy and right that what they would tell you
Very
to do
raunchy.
that you would be like, really? They want that? Okay.
Yeah.
Just
oh no.
making it up.
There were well, I have to say no. She actually is very proud and she's right about stuff that she put in Cosmo that was kind of ahead of its time, and also making women not feel like they were like slutty for like
fair.
having sex and not.
Okay.
It
was very overt. Cosmo was the raciest of them.
Cosmo was, yeah. But anyway, the Cosmo quiz was always the tell. I kind of miss the Cosmo quiz. I wonder, is Cosmo still around?
I don't know. Let's see. Cosmo quiz. I mean, that seems like the perfect thing to go online. It was basically like the BuzzFeed quiz, only racy and for women and on paper.
Okay, guys. All right, listen to me.
It's right here.
My father has just arrived to drop my son off. So he might overhear some of this stuff.
Okay.
We can't.
So we have to be like, oh, so tell me again about that very intellectual pursuit that you're.
We can't talk about 20 ways to give a blowjob that we learned in Cosmo magazine back in 1986.
Right.
Zip it.
Now you followed Tova Sterling here on Substack, and she'll tell you all of that.
Oh, really? Who?
Oh, Tova Sterling.
I don't know Tova Sterling.
Chef Tova. She's brilliant. One of my very, very favorite writers, but also like creators. I first found her on Reels. Oh, she's a New York City person too, much younger. She's very wry. You've probably seen her if you are scrolling Reels at all. She's got like very big dark eyes, long dark hair, and she's always like making food as she talks and has this very soothing voice and generally talking about something like super racy. And but her observations are brilliant.
Okay.
Like she's going to be very, very famous. She will be a household name soon.
Okay.
Mark my words. She was the #1 rising bestseller in culture yesterday on Substack.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I'm a paid subscriber.
I'll check her out.
Her work is phenomenal. I tried to get her on the Daily Whatever show when she first joined Substack because I was like, oh, it's Chef Tova, she's here. I'm like fangirling, and my daughter, who I did a live with yesterday, because we share a sense of humor and it wasn't appropriate for a mom to share this with her teenage daughter, but I started sharing her reels. So we both love her work. And I was like, Chef Tova wrote me back. I mean, she turned me down, but she wrote me back.
Why did she turn you down? She just won't do it?
I've never seen her do a live. So I think she's very careful with her, her brand and her time, I'm guessing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of the Odyssey and the original Greek, Homer.
I haven't seen the Odyssey yet. Have you?
I'm seeing it today. I'm seeing it today at 2 p.m. I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Oh my gosh.
Lawrence hyped me up.
Yeah, I know Lawrence loved it.
Lawrence hyped it up. So I cannot wait to see it.
I am really excited to see it. My older daughter was in a production of the Odyssey in 6th grade. It was a class at her middle school and they rewrote it and they called it the ODD Odyssey, but they like modernized the language kind of. It was so cute.
I'm just waving to my son, who I haven't seen in a couple of weeks because he's been staying with his grandparents. He just came home.
Oh, do you need to go? Do you need to go give him a big hug?
Well, I might need to go give him a quick hug. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Go do that. Go do
I
that.
just want to say just really quick to Jessica in the chat. She said, I still can't get over that Michelle was born in 73. I wasn't born in 73. Julie was, just to be clear. I'm even younger than that. I was born during the Reagan administration. So just to clear that up,
Yes.
just so to make people feel worse. But see, this is how I feel like working with Gen Z people when they're like, oh, I was born in like 2001. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
When?
I feel like if you're like, I would say Reagan 1 or older, I can relate to you. Reagan, I take that back. Even Reagan 2, I can relate to you.
Yeah.
Bush 1, we're getting a little tough.
And
And then I'm very happy to say that my son was born during the Obama administration, so at least
right. It's like, do you know who Michael Dukakis is? You know what I mean? Like from life, not just from reading about it in a thing, and just really quick, because I'm using this new camera. Hold on, is it working? Oh, it is working. Okay. Because it has this thing on it where if you put your hands up like this, it tracks, like all of a sudden it finds you and then it tracks your face and then it goes anywhere you go. Isn't that, but it's not really doing it very right. That's what I'm just like, do I need to do it? There we go. Now it's working.
Okay.
All right. Anyways. So guys, gals.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the Odyssey.
Have
I'm
you seen it
excited
yet?
for you. I have not. I don't know that I'm going to because I heard the dogs die.
Oh,
Well,
there's a lot of
spoilers.
No. Well, I don't know about in the real Odyssey.
Well, in the movie they are.
Yeah,
They
but I
do.
mean, well, I don't know about what happens. I'll let you know. But in the real Odyssey, this is one of the sweetest parts of the real Odyssey is that when Odysseus leaves to go to Troy, to go to the Trojan War, his dog is a little tiny puppy, and he waits every single day by the dock where his ship departed for no, he didn't go to Troy initially. They all went, anyway, they did a human sacrifice. There's a lot going on in the Iliad, but the dog waits for him. And then when he comes back, I don't want to give anything away, but I haven't seen the movie. I would hope I wouldn't give anything away because it's the Odyssey's been around for 3,000 years. The dog is now very old because it's been 20 years. So this is a very long longevity dog. But Odysseus comes in disguise and the dog is the only one who remembers him.
So sorry, I have a question. I'm going to sound like a dumb person. But I'm going to ask anyway. So you said the Iliad. Does the Iliad and the Odyssey have things to do with each other?
Yes. The Iliad is about the Trojan War. So the whole,
right. I remember like that from Odyssey of the Mind when I was a kid. Yeah.
So the Iliad is, I like the Iliad better, but the Iliad is they all go to Troy for different reasons. But the sensible reason is because Helen was kidnapped by the brother of the king of Troy. And not kid. Well, she fell in love with him and she took off with him. So her husband launches. She's the face that launched 1,000 ships. She's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Sure.
Which is why Elon Musk is freaking out because she's being played by a black woman in the Iliad. And they're like, she's not the most beautiful woman. Lupita, I can't pronounce her last name.
Yeah. She, by the way, can I just say, I shot a wedding back in the day at the boathouse in Central Park. And she was a guest because the groom went to Yale drama. And
did she go to Yale drama? Okay.
Yeah. And she was at the Yale table. When I tell you, and I have pictures of her, like, I mean, I would never share them or anything, but it's like, she is the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your life. Like, I just was, I mean, there was a lot of famous people at this wedding. There was like Lawrence O'Donnell and Tyne Daly and all these people. Because the bride was a theater director, but
wow,
it was, so there was a lot of people to kind of gawk at, but like I couldn't take my eyes off of her because she was just so stunning, like her skin, her face, like just beautiful. So I can't think of a more perfect person to be playing a role like that, honestly.
Well, I got to tell you, yes, so she's Helen of Troy, and I guess she must be there in flashbacks because she doesn't have anything to do with the Odyssey. But yes, they all go to Troy. There's a 10-year Trojan War. Odysseus is not that critical in the Iliad, except at the very end, he's the one, because he's the most clever guy on earth, comes up with the idea of the Trojan horse. And that's how they breach the walls of Troy, because they pretend that they're giving Troy a gift, a peace offering. And meanwhile, they built this wooden horse, and then the army, the Greek army, is in the horse, and so then when they wheel the horse into Troy, they all jump out and slaughter everybody in Troy. So the war is over, and the Odyssey begins when Odysseus leaves Troy to get back to Ithaca, where I will be going tomorrow, Ithaca, New York.
Oh, I was just going to say, Julie, what?
No, I have never been to Ithaca in Greece, but apparently the island of Ithaca in Greece is not, they don't think is where really the mythical Ithaca was. It's too east. I think it's the island. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then that's when that's when the Odyssey starts. The whole Odyssey is the Odyssey, it's Odysseus, the Odyssey. But now we use the Odyssey as like, oh, it's his whole journey. But it's from the word Odysseus. It takes him 20 years to get home. No, 10 years to get home.
Okay, that's the joke I was mentioning the other day that I saw on Twitter. They were like, why did it take so long for him to get home? And then it was a map of the state of New York with a Google map from Troy to Ithaca, New York, which only takes like 2 hours.
Yeah.
So people were making a joke about it.
Yeah.
That's
but like
excellent.
I told you, I don't know, did I do you guys know about Odyssey of the Mind? Did you know about Odyssey of the Mind?
Yeah, you said you did that when you were like in fifth grade, right?
I did mine in 5th grade and 6th grade, and it's like a problem solving like competition sort of thing, and like there's all these different things that you can do, and there's like I feel like there was like an engineering thing and then something else, and one of them was theater, and you had to create a story based around the Iliad, and then correlate that with a story or a theme in the 20th century. And I remember we used the theme of betrayal, and we used Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, and like in order to get from the Iliad times to the 20th century, we like made this time machine out of a refrigerator, a cardboard box, and like we put like baby powder like it to make it look like it was smoking and things. And so like you had to be really creative about all these things, and you only had like a very small budget, and you had to save all of your receipts and like hand in all your receipts. It was really fun.
In 5th grade, they told you guys about the Rosenbergs?
Oh yeah, I knew about that.
I mean, don't you think that's like super advanced?
I mean, I was the only kid in my friend group who was not in the advanced kids. Like they chose you in 4th grade if you were going to be like, it was called, I think, like enriched or something like that.
I hate that.
The enrichment program.
Yeah, and like
New York is gifted and talented. I hate that.
I feel like I mean, I'm just gonna say I feel like I should have been in it, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't. But all my friends were, obviously, and so once I got to high school, they put me in all those classes. But it's and I was very sad because I loved those kids, and they were all just like, I don't know, they just knew about stuff. They just knew Julius and Ethel, and like so I would go and eat lunch in like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. My teacher would let me go eat lunch over with the enriched kids, and I would like take my lunch and like go, and we would nerd out over there. So
okay, I'm just gonna say, wait a second. I'm sorry. There's somebody doing a movie about the Peasants' Rebellion? Are you kidding me? Really? Okay. I'm now super excited to see that too.
So I'm just reading from and if you have kids that are of like, school age, and you're thinking about getting them into something, the Odyssey of the Mind is incredible. And I'm just reading the website, Odyssey of the Mind, everybody calls it OM, teaches students how to develop and use their natural creativity to become problem solvers. Imagine being faced with a problem that requires an original solution. It can be frightening. Now imagine not being afraid to solve that problem. That is what OM members learn. This skill and confidence will carry over to all areas in their life. It emphasizes on teamwork, budgeting, time management, public speaking, and so much more. It's an international program that is designed to help students at all learning levels grow as individual learners. And it's just great.
That sounds
I think
amazing.
I love
it's
that.
great for like kids that do math. It's great for kids who, you know, build stuff. It's great for creative kids like me. Like it was a way that kind of brought everyone together and it was a great equalizer. And then you competed with all these other kids from other schools. It was awesome. I loved it.
I love
Anyways,
that.
the Iliad TM. Yeah.
The Iliad. Anyway, there's also an amazing podcast about the Iliad and the Odyssey. And I'm not a huge podcast person. I listen to books when I drive, like fiction books, because it kind of helps me zone out. But somebody recommended this to me.
I hope it doesn't make you zone out too much when you're driving.
No. It just makes me not you know what it does? It makes me not. This is the same reason that I have to read fiction books before I go to sleep. I don't know if anybody else has this. It makes me take my mind off real life. Like if I'm listening to anything that's not fiction in the car, like the news or anything like that, I'm like, I start stress. It's just.
This is why I listen to Bill Simmons podcasts.
Well, exactly. So like everybody has their thing to just take their mind. But anyway, there's this great podcast. I'll find it and I'll put it in the chat. This amazing podcast about one for the Iliad, one for the Odyssey. I think the Iliad's better because I think the Iliad, the book, is better than the Odyssey. The Odyssey is like, okay, they got it. Like it takes them a while to get home. We got it. The Iliad's very geopolitical. Who's allied with whom? Who's screwing up whose life? Who's backstabbing whom? Who's getting killed? Like I think the Iliad's more interesting.
Don't you feel like
We've had them so long ago that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say my most recent media in this area is that my younger daughter and I have been watching Percy Jackson as the series comes out.
Okay.
It's really cute. I haven't read the books, but they really got her into reading at a young age, kind of like the Harry Potter for a younger generation and less transphobic.
Or like Babysitter's Club. Yeah.
Oh, it's way brainier than the Babysitter's Club, though.
Judy Blume for me.
Oh yeah, Judy Blume for me.
Ramona Quimby. Yeah, I read Ramona.
Yeah, I love Beverly Cleary.
Beverly Cleary was so good. She lived to be like 104. I think she just died.
It's amazing.
She had a really long life.
And Judy Blume is still with us.
Yeah, she is.
She lives in the Keys, right? Does she live in the Keys?
Oh, does she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she lives. No, so my friend Gretchen Carlson told me this. So she met her. So you have to understand, there's one person in the world that I need to meet.
Well, that's what I was like referencing.
Yeah, like she is it. Like I need to meet Judy Blume, and I know it's not like a crazy stalker because I say this all the time. I'm not going to stalk you, Judy Blume. I just want to meet you and thank you for everything you did. Everything you did for like a little girl, because she was so seminal in my life. And also
a little girl who came from Russia and was learning English and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
like her.
You were Sally J. Friedman.
I was. Sally J. Friedman is the best of the books.
I loved that one. And it takes place right where I was growing up because she moves to her grandparents in South Florida. Right?
Yeah, she moves to Miami, and she is her. That's basically her autobiographical book. But oh God, Sally J. Friedman.
Are You There, Margaret? Right?
Are you there?
Yeah, Are You There, God? It's Margaret.
Yeah, or that's what I meant. Yeah.
I learned more. How about this? Because my parents had no clue. So I would just buy whatever books I wanted to buy. So I was like, oh, there's a book I haven't read yet by Judy Blume. I'll read Wifey. Did anybody read Wifey?
Oh, I read Wifey.
I read Wifey when I was like in 5th grade because I didn't know.
Oh, everybody. Yeah.
I learned more about, I'm looking because my parents are, I learned more about things from Wifey that that book was seminal. Forget anything. That was better.
And Forever. Forever was the teenage sex book.
Forever was. Yeah, but the problem with Forever is that Forever presented this perfect high school relationship.
Yeah. Which
was very mature and adult. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know anybody who had that kind of relationship. I was like a crazy. We all were in high school. Like there's no.
Really? My daughter is she and her boyfriend have a great relationship. It's super healthy, which I love.
I feel like it's the time.
Yeah.
I feel like people are just way more aware and adjusted.
As a Gen Xer, feel like you had a normal relationship with your first boyfriend? Because I think mine was completely not healthy.
My first, who I would call my boyfriend, who I met shortly before leaving for college, is like an archetype of dude in my life. And for years I lost track of him because it was before social media. And when I launched Three Imaginary Girls in the early aughts, I would sometimes tag him in stories because he introduced me to so much music. Not tag, but I would put his name in there so that if he Googled himself, he would find me. Because I was like, where did he go? And now we're friends on social media.
Really?
Yep. And he's
was the
as adorable.
relationship? Was it a healthy relationship?
It was. He was
Really?
a wonderful guy. I was very lucky. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Well, my mistake was my first serious boyfriend, and I said to Michelle, I'm like, I was never cooler then than I am now. I've never been cooler since. I was going into my senior year in high school, and I went to high school in Princeton, New Jersey, and I did something that, I mean, this was like breaking the barrier, man. I dated a sophomore at Princeton University. How about that?
That's amazing.
I got your parents didn't freak out about that?
He was a very nice Jewish boy.
So they were just like, and he is very mature for
and
her.
He went to Princeton, so they were like, this is
like,
you know,
a different situation.
Yeah, this is like the kind of boy you bring home.
I feel like
not the kind of
but it wasn't a healthy relationship, Julie, because I know you're still friends with that guy.
I am friends with that guy. It was not a healthy relationship in the sense that I was in high school, he was in college. Like,
can you imagine being in college and dating a high school
I don't know what he was doing
person?
dating me, honestly. Like,
right, that's what I mean. Like, it's so weird.
We had a lot in common. We both interned at the same place. That's how we met. He was interning there while he was in college, and I knew one of the guys running it. My parents knew one of the people running this. It was this Soviet think tank, like post-Soviet think tank thing. So they used me to translate stuff, and he was interning there in college, and that's how we met. So it wasn't like we met like at some bar. We met because we were working in the same place. So like from that perspective, I think we had a lot in common, but I was so in love with this guy. And I think for him, it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to date this girl. And we broke up right before I went to college. And
that was probably rough.
I could because I was going up to Boston, I just couldn't shake him. Like, of course, because he was my first boyfriend. We were like, I'll never love this way again. And now in retrospect, you're like, okay, whatever. But it took me a really long time, to get over him. Although he's a wonderful guy, by the way. He's a fan. And not only is he a wonderful guy, hey, Jason, if you're watching for some reason, I know you're not. He went to Columbia to get his PhD. And now he does something super fascinating. We need to actually have him on.
Yeah.
He studies, because I had him on when I had an old podcast. He's a psychologist, like he has a PhD in psychology, but he studies political psychology. Interesting enough.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's pretty niche.
It's super interesting because he published a paper a few years ago, which I think is so fascinating, where they can predict how you're going to vote based on certain characteristics that you have. So the only one that I remember that stuck out is like, if you are somebody who's super grossed out by bodily function, like if you're somebody who sees a diaper and you start gagging,
or
you're
going to vote for Trump, aren't you?
You're going to be a Republican. You're more predisposed to being a Republican. If you're disgusted by a woman's period, but where he pointed it out to me, that was, I think, really fascinating. And this is one of like several metrics, so this is not like the end all.
I was like gaggy when I see like a loogie on the street.
Well, that's the funny thing, Michelle. So here's the funny thing. If you are in New York or Seattle or whatever city, right? Yeah. And you see a homeless guy pooping on the street or like peeing on the street. Mm-hmm. If you're somebody who, this is like a study that they did. I have to get them on because it's so fascinating. There's many more metrics to this. This is just one of them. But if you are somebody who sees that, like somebody peeing on the street.
Peeing is one thing.
Okay,
if
maybe
it
not
has,
pooping.
If it has a smell, like
no. Let me change it. If you are seeing somebody peeing on the street, or and you spend the rest of the day completely grossed out by it and you can't stop thinking about it, you're like, this is so disgusting.
That's weird.
Then you're completely predisposed to voting Republican. I think he did the study prior to Trump. I think the study's more than 10 years old. So this is not like, but all the different metrics that he ascribed to what it means to be a Republican, Trump has them. So I remember how Trump wouldn't shake hands with people because he was a journalist.
Oh yeah.
So whatever, but there's more to it. There's like a neighbor thing. Like if you think so-and-so about your neighbors, like it's a really fascinating study that we need to have him on to talk about. And he probably has done many more since. I don't know why we went down this rabbit hole other than to say it was not a very healthy relationship when I was dating him.
Well,
but he's a wonderful guy.
I want to say, I mean, I had a few boyfriends, like they were just like, you know what I mean? Like middle school, high school things. But then I had a boyfriend in 10th grade who was a senior, and we did musicals together. And I feel like I just didn't know how to stick up for myself. And I don't think I knew how to not allow people to talk to me in a certain way. Like this boy, I don't even know that he really liked me. I don't know. He said to me once, first of all, he used to correct my grammar all the time.
Ooh.
And then he said to me once, and by the way, in high school, I probably weighed 100 pounds. Like I was teeny, but sure, baby.
And you're cutting out a little, Michelle.
Cutting out, Michelle. You're frozen. Oh,
Michelle.
No.
Oh no.
Am I here?
Yes, you just got
to hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
You weighed like 100 pounds in high school.
Yeah, and I like little baby fat 100 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And I remember my hair was a little long, and I got my hair cut, and he goes, I used to think you were kind of a fatso until you cut your hair.
What? He said fatso?
Mm-hmm.
And of course you didn't dump him because
I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just don't, I am the person I am now because of people like that.
I say the same thing. Yes. Those horrible guys made us the people we are today.
Yes. And I mean, he was the first of quite a few people who were pretty horrible to me. And it's just like I don't know, like for all the things that you see about me now, you probably are like, how, like, really, Michelle? Like, really? Like, that doesn't sound like you. I'm like, well, I didn't really survive these things, right? I became a different person. Like, that's kind of how I look at it. And, this guy, it's funny. I got to tell you this very quick story. So his parents were kind of snobby, right? Really snobby. He ended up going to Colgate University. He's very smart, very smart. And right before I moved to New York, like I had just graduated from, hold on, there's a spammer in the chat.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just FYI, thanks to our moderators today on YouTube. We love you.
On Substack, Dana, or on a?
It's a Substacker.
Okay. Oh, Substack. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
I just, if you checked, I just sent you a text with the name.
Okay. Got it. Just saw that.
Zap.
So this was right after I'd finished, my 4-year, program at Syracuse doing theater and all stuff. And I just signed like with an agent. I was riding high. I was about to move to New York. And in those couple weeks, I think before I went, he came to a restaurant where I was working. I was hostessing at a restaurant back home to make some extra cash. And he walked in with his parents and his fiance. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm getting a little married a little young here, but all right.
And you said, your girl is lovely, Hubble.
No. They were like, oh, hi, Michelle. And they're like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I'm about to move to New York in a few weeks, blah, blah, blah. I just signed with an agent, blah, blah. And they were like, oh. I remember his dad looked at me and was like, what are you going to do there? And it just seemed so like judgy. It was like judgy. And so anyways, they got married. He got divorced.
Of course.
And then years later, I find out he's living in New York, and he finds out that I live in New York. And over Christmas, he left his laptop at his parents' house. And he asked me if I would bring his laptop on the Amtrak back to New York for him.
Okay.
And this was like in 2012 or something. And I was like, because I'm probably too nice, I said, okay, fine. And I had to go pick it up from his parents. And you know, they were nice or whatever. And then I noticed, of course, they don't live in the same house anymore because all that snobbery, whatever, I'm not going to get into it, but you know, maybe they shouldn't throw stones in their glass houses. But he got married again and then they got divorced. I found out.
Okay.
And
So
then
two
now
wives, two divorces.
and he's still single. He is a professor at Fordham University.
Oh, good school.
Good school. But I kind of look at my life now and how stable and wonderful my life is, and I'm married to such a great person, and I have a I'm like, I look at the thing. I have a tendency to put myself down sometimes. I'm like, oh, I haven't really done anything. Like, I'm like, no, F that. Like, I got a wall full of trophies back here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing all right. Like, I'm doing okay. And so I look at somebody like that who put me down when we were children, in a way that I was so vulnerable. And somebody in the chat said, you know, as somebody with an eating disorder, like, I feel for you. I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I had disordered eating. I mean, this isn't like shocking. I mean, I think most young women did. Between theater and boys telling me I was fat, and you know, ballet class, and moving to New York and having agents tell you you're too fat, and doing the Miss America program and people writing on chat rooms that you are too fat, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just you just those things are so he probably, if I brought it up to him, he would have no recollection that he said something like that to me.
It was nothing important to him, but it moved your world. Yeah.
It stuck with me for the rest of my life. And I was 15 or 16, you know what I mean? And I'm 44 now, and I still think about it. You know, and unfortunately set me, I think, on a path of just choosing really horrible people who aren't very nice to me. But I think, and I guess, you know, full circle here, because of all these terrible boys and men, I don't know that I ever would have dated my husband, because my husband is like the nerdiest, little weirdest, you know, lawyer who loves backgammon and ESPN and the Weather Channel, and like, he's just weird. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna date this guy who I probably never would have dated before. And you know what I mean? And I learned about myself through all of that, you know.
I will second that your husband is phenomenal, and you're absolutely right that he treats you so well. And whatever path brought you to Joe is fine, because he's phenomenal. I will also say that these men are obsessed with the Weather Channel in ways that make no sense to me. My husband is also obsessed with the weather.
Really? Is this a thing?
I don't understand.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. I mean, every time. So we have New York One, you know, so New York One is like the local, hyper local New York City default channel. So that if you have
it's like through the cable thing. It's like Time Warner or whatever. It's like that
Spectrum.
Channel.
Spectrum owns the cable company. If you have it, like when you turn on the TV, it defaults to New York One.
Okay.
And when John Davitt, the weather guy, comes on, my husband's like, shh, shh, John Davitt's speaking. I'm like, it's the weather guy. And he's like, no, shh, shh, we got it. It's the weather.
Oh God, that's so funny.
He's like obsessed with the weather. What is it with these men and the weather?
I as a child, I watched, I mean, I don't know about you guys, I watched a lot of Sesame Street. I know I'm a little bit younger than you, but like, see my Fraggle over here? This is my Fraggle from Fraggle Rock. I was obsessed with Fraggle Rock and the Muppets. And, you know, my husband has never seen any of this. He's never seen The Wizard of Oz. He's never seen any of the, I know, all these, the Muppets show or any of the stuff.
How did he miss the Muppet Show?
This is the thing. And I say to my mother, I'm like, my mother-in-law, I'm like, what were you?
I missed the Muppets, but Sesame Street, because I was too old when I got here.
Well, right. I mean, by the time you got here,
that
makes more sense. But like, you know, my mother-in-law is like, I don't know. I was showing it to him. I don't know. He just didn't want to read it. And so, and so,
impression of your mother-in-law.
The accent. Like,
she's like, I look around the house and be like, where's Joseph? And he'd be in the bathroom with the New York Times. like
That's
on the
what
toilet
happened.
as like a 5-year-old reading the paper. And then he's like, and when he'd be done, then he'd go watch the Weather Channel. And that's what he would do. And he just, like, we had very different childhoods.
He's never
Very
seen The
different.
Wizard of Oz, Michelle, to this day.
Never.
You've got to fix that.
Well,
I've
speaking
been trying.
Speaking of The Wizard of Oz, so I think I told you, Michelle, I have to go to Vegas. Did I complain about this? Did I have to go to Vegas in a couple of weeks? August.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Yeah, I have to speak at a AI conference there for my nonprofit, which is great.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's great for the cause. However, it's August in Vegas. And by the way, it's super expensive to get to. I'm like, who the hell's going to Vegas in August? This is how much the stupid Trump war is costing us. Like it is a fortune to get to Vegas. It used to be like $200 round trip to get to Vegas. Now it's like $700. It's crazy how expensive it is. Anyway,
I have to book flights like
it's
not to get my kids to college, and I'm scared.
It's not good. It's not like I was shocked. I mean, luckily they're I don't have to pay for it to get out there, but like I still have to book the flight. It was expensive. So this is Michelle. Okay.
Yeah, there.
Yes, it's working. Okay. Yeah. So then my 14-year-old's like, I want to go to Vegas. And I was like, you are 14. Like, why? He's like, I've always wanted to go to Vegas. I'm like, for the hookers, for the gambling? what is like, what about Las Vegas is if you like
He's like, I love Frank Sinatra. I know.
See. I'm like for the Eiffel Tower that you've seen in real life that you have to see them like what, like the Venetian. So you could like go through the canals of Venice and pretend you're in Venice. Like what? No. I have to go to Vegas. And I was like, all right, this kid has had a pretty tough summer because I am a horrible and he's my mother and I'm making him do tutors in summer school and get a leg up on 9th grade math. And this is all he's doing this summer and playing a lot of squash because this is like his ticket into college. So I have made his life a living hell this summer. And I was like,
oh my gosh, Julie.
I know I'm a horrible, horrible mother. Nevertheless, he's going to thank me one day. I think either that or he's going to be talking about it in therapy for the rest of his life. We're not sure.
Both.
Anyway, listen, immigrant parent, this is like what you do to your children. You torture the hell out of them. My parents did it to me. I'm doing it to him. So yes, we can talk all about that in a minute. But anyway, so I was like, fine, if his dream in life is to go to Las Vegas for 24 hours, which is the exact length of time that I intend to be there, I will take him to Vegas with me. So I'm taking him to Vegas with me because it's like whatever, free hotel room. I don't have to pay for my flight.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what do you do in Vegas with a kid? And then somebody was like, they have the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere.
Yeah.
So I was like, which by the way, P.S. also a fucking fortune. It is.
I know.
I'm sure.
I really want to do that though.
They show the movie
in
the Sphere, so you're immersed.
So I've never been to the Sphere as everybody.
I haven't either.
Okay, so I'm dying to go see Fish at the Sphere. This is like my dream in life is to go see Fish, the band at the Sphere. However,
there's where we divulge, Julie.
I know.
Jam bands, not my thing. Although I love the Ben and Jerry's ice cream fish food. They have a really good non-dairy one, but that's the only thing I like about fish.
I know.
It's okay. I still love you.
I get it. Although I will tell you something I thought about this morning, Dana, which you'll appreciate. But so we're going to see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. This is what I'm doing with him in Vegas. And I'm just kind of psyched. And I think you should take Joe to that.
Joe has a backgammon.
That's true, Kevin.
Yeah. Joe has a backgammon tournament in a few months in Vegas. And he actually asked if maybe I'd want to go see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. And I was like, that would be nice, because usually I don't like to go to the tournaments with him because he just plays the whole time. And I'm like, I just got to walk around by myself. It's not that fun. But I was like, I might do that. And I have some friends in Vegas who live there. So
people who actually live in Vegas?
Yeah. I went to theater school. I have friends who are performers and that's dancers and stuff.
But
I haven't been to Vegas in years.
I haven't been to Vegas in 20 years.
Do you like it? Dana?
I like Vegas for 2 days.
That's what Julie says. I've never
very infrequently. You've never been. Well, here's my thing with Vegas. When I was a young adult, I was expecting glamour. I was thinking of old Vegas. I thought there were going to be women in full-length sequence gowns, smoking cigarettes on the long extenders, like "Honey, hit me again" at the blackjack table.
Right. Like Fuzzy Mogues,
and men in suits drinking martinis.
Rat Pack.
It is not glamorous. It is like old tourists in shorts pulling slot machine levers. So you do have to manage your expectations. Maybe because I grew up in Florida, but I love swimming pools. And one thing that amused me the last time I was there many years ago is like the hotels tend to have really nice pools outside because it's one of the reasons to get you there, but like no one was in them. So I remember it was blazing hot, but I grew up in Florida. I'm used to heat and I could get in the pool. And so I
It's just
sat
a
out
dry heat,
it's just dry. It's a dry 120 degrees.
Yeah, it's a dry heat.
But I did love the fancy pool and sitting outside. And I really do like to play blackjack. My dad, well, before he was living in a memory care, he used to love to gamble to a fault, but and he didn't do very many great things for me as a dad. But one thing he did do, and I should write about this because I write about his past life. When I was like college age or grad school age, he was like from Florida. You can take these like hopper flights to the Bahamas to go gamble.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to teach you how to play craps and we're going to go gamble. So we went. And again, I got in the pool at the hotel. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe Atlantis. It was one of the like big casino places, but he bankrolled me a couple $100 and he was like, you can't just keep it. If you lose it gambling, it's fine, but you can't just keep it. We're going to go have fun and gamble. And it was actually really fun. So I haven't played craps in years. I don't really remember how craps works, but I know the rules of, because there are rules to blackjack of like when you hit, you're not supposed to just do it on vibe. I have a feeling I'm going to get a 3 and have 21. And I think it's kind of fun. I haven't done it in years, but for like 2 days, I go to the like very low stakes tables and I'll gamble. Then they bring you free drinks. At least they used to. They probably still do because they want to disinhibit you while you're gambling.
Right, of course, and keep you in your seat.
Yeah. And they have great restaurants in Las Vegas. Like they're kind of known for that now too. The shows are very expensive, but all of the Cirque du Soleil shows are incredible. So like, especially if someone else is paying, Vegas is fun for a couple of days and then you get out.
Yeah. I'll say this about Vegas because I don't gamble. I just,
me neither.
It makes me too anxious. Like I don't gamble. I don't, like I'm not a huge drinker, whatever. The point is, and I have, in fairness, I have not been to Vegas in over 20 years. I think 2004 was maybe the last time I was there. But I will say this about Vegas, as I recall it, and I think we talked about this, Michelle, with Jeff yesterday. It is like this, like it is the crossroads of the United States, not of the world, but of the United States. Like you see every type in Vegas. You see the New Yorkers, you see the cowboys who really are dressed like they'll wear the cowboy hats. Like you'll see every single type of American in Las Vegas. Or at least that's what I thought 20 years ago. And that I think is just the people watching alone.
Yeah.
Like super, super, super fascinating.
Is it, I've been to Atlantic City a couple times.
Different.
And I was like, you know what? I'm fine.
I've never been there.
No, Atlantic City's like a different, but I shouldn't say that because they're trying very hard to revitalize Atlantic City. But
I know, but
it's not Vegas. Vegas is
it's a lot of like, hey, with the oxygen tank and like hitting the things. Like it's like that.
Yeah. Vegas has a lot of that too.
Yeah, I just think I found Vegas as a sociological like experiment. I thought it was really interesting. So I'm kind of excited to just go people watch for a few hours.
Yes.
The Wizard of Oz.
You should bring like a sequins gown. You should be the one who shows up old school glamour.
You know what? I bet you nobody would even blink. That's the thing about.
See, this is another reason you need to see Hacks. You need to keep watching Hacks, Julie, because
I started.
Hacks, like half of it takes place in Vegas.
Oh, thank God they leave Vegas because I'm so sick of looking at Vegas in that show.
I mean, that's like home base for her, but like, you know.
So, but I feel like if I'm going to go out west, I don't know that Vegas is like the place to go.
Come to Seattle.
Yeah.
I love Seattle. I was just in Seattle, but I was in Seattle. When was I there? Just again for 20, like I go to these conferences and literally I'm always in and out for 24 hours. It's before I think I knew you.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would have definitely, although I was, yeah.
Even if it's just 24 hours, I will come find you at your hotel.
Yeah. I forgot where I was.
Grab a coffee or something.
Yeah, it was a hotel downtown. I can't remember where exactly it was, but
I'm gonna sound like
downtown.
I'm gonna sound like such a weird East Coast moron, but the only times I've been to the Pacific Northwest is like on a layover. like flying in and flying out. And by the way, flying over Seattle is stunning.
It's stunning.
I have one of my favorite videos like that I take out because I always take videos from the plane because I'm afraid to fly, and then I watch them later to like desensitize myself. And one of my favorite ones is approaching Seattle's airport, and I'm like, this is beautiful. But the thing that might make me a moron, I always just think of Twilight.
It's not okay. So I actually wrote an essay about this. It's on Medium, not Substack. I may need to port it over.
Yeah,
who just joined?
Oh, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Did you?
I don't know Joe, but hello.
Joe, did you win your match?
Oh,
I was sleeping when he texted me. So.
Oh.
Or called me this morning because
Joe's hanging out on the Côte d'Azur. So
yeah.
Oh,
Joe
it's not even a big deal.
Oh, he won round 1. Yay, Joe! So in case anyone is interested, yes, Grandmaster Joe. For anybody who's joining for the first time or maybe the 5th time, and I just haven't mentioned this, my husband is banking regulatory attorney by day, backgammon grandmaster by night, and I'm not kidding. My husband is actually he's one of the best backgammon players in the world. Last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago, he was like number 2 in the United States. So he is in Monte Carlo right now, playing in the World Backgammon Championship, which there's like, lots of different, I think Joe can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think there's like a lot of events you can play and a lot of opportunities to like win money or whatever it is, because they do play for money, I guess. But then there's like a main event or whatever. So he goes every year. And yeah, lots of events. He's telling me lots of events. So that's where Joe is. And he will be there for a little while. And also he's going to be in London next month. Representing the United States, because you're playing it as an individual, right? You're playing as an individual in the World Championship at backgammon in Monte Carlo, right? But then there's like a kind of like an Olympics sort of thing of backgammon where countries play against each other, and so Joe is on the U.S. team. And it's funny because they played like sort of a practice. Today is called the Monte Carlo Open. Thank you, Joe. They did like practice rounds before August when they were all in London, and United States played Iran in the practice round. And I said to Joe, I was like,
did they win?
Interesting. Yeah, I think the US won in the practice round, but this was just online, you know what I mean? But I was like, what a strange situation that is, that we are literally at war with this country and you're playing backgammon with them.
I think it's all good. I think
it really is like it's like chess in that way, I think, right? Backgammon, I don't play. I don't know how to play, but it's a lot of people in the Middle East, a lot of people in the Mediterranean, like in Europe. I mean, it's
huge.
It's huge in the Middle East. Shesh-besh, backgammon, whatever you call it, is a game that people really, really love. And Joe started playing as a kid, and then a number of years ago he was like, you know what, I want to get really into this, and he does. And he's read every book about backgammon from cover to cover 1,000 times. Every time I look over at him, he's playing on his phone, he's playing online, he's doing this, he's playing with some guys in a park, random park in New York or something. And and he got really, really into it, and he's like, I want to be one of the best players in the world. And then he did it. So congrats, Joe, if you're still listening.
I want to talk about I know that we don't usually focus on politics here, but I do want to talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, you guys.
I do too. I didn't watch it, and I want to hear.
Michelle has the video.
Okay. So
I am nostalgic for the last one. So this is the redo, right? From the last one.
This is the Temu Hydrox cookie of White House Correspondents' Dinners.
It is a disgrace. That they did this, and shame on the White House Correspondents Association, and shame on all the reporters who were there. And to be blunt, I think this is probably and should be the demise of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Let me just say this. When I worked at Fox, it was a hot ticket to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I never, ever did. I thought it was offensive. Mm-hmm. I couldn't stand when Rachel Maddow and all those people at MSNBC are like, oh, it's nerd prom. It's nerd prom. Shut up. It's not nerd prom. It's a bunch of people vying for access pretending that they're, like it is the definition of the swamp.
It's Hollywood for
It's
ugly
Hollywood
people.
for ugly people. Sometimes during Obama years, Hollywood would actually show up. And
Yeah, it was
crazy.
slightly more.
Yeah, but every aspect of it, I think, is disgusting. I think the concept of reporters palling around with people whom there should be covering without fear and favor is gross. I understand that there are personal relationships that we all have with reporters and vice versa, but the truth of the matter is you shouldn't be out front in sequin gowns. Speaking of sequin gowns, doing it, this thing cannot end fast enough. And I want to thank Donald Trump for putting another nail in the coffin for it.
Mm-hmm.
But
what's the woman's name who is the head of the association now? Do you know what I'm talking about?
She's from the AP, and I cannot remember.
Yeah, she's in the AP. Like you.
Oh, wait, sorry, it's Wei Zhejiang.
Wei Zhejiang. Okay, so she gets up and she's sitting next to him, which is customary, right, for the head of the White House Correspondents Association to sit next to the president and like talk and whatever. But Melania is not there. He's got Caroline Leavitt on one side, who, by the way, baby girl, it is okay to blend at your jawline. Like she was turning at one point, they were turned and like talking to each other, and it was like a line.
Well, that's I think she's trying to make him feel like he fits in with
right.
the bright
I'm like, blend at the
orange
jawline,
spray.
honey.
She needs my son, because every time I would do every time I would do the whatever here, and I'd walk him to school a couple of years ago, he's like in the sun, he's like, Mom. And he'd go up and go like this. He
That's a good guy. My daughter will do the same for me.
He's like be a friend. And I was like, someone let you not only walk out of the house, but then walk into this ballroom, and then still no one said anything to you. It's amazing.
She got the makeup done professionally, so she should fire the professional makeup.
Well, this is when you realized how many of these women in MAGA world have no gay friends, no gay men around them. I was like, I can't. But anyways, so he's got Caroline Leavitt on one side, and then he's got Wei Zhejiang on the other side, and she's like talking him up, like talking to him, like. And then she gets up to introduce him, because, by the way, and for anybody who doesn't know, who maybe is from outside the United States watching this, White House Correspondents' Dinner, it is all the correspondents who cover the White House, and all the networks and all the publications. Like sometimes we'll get a table, and then there's like sometimes there's a comedian and a bunch of people that will give awards to young people, and then awards to journalists for some like really great coverage that they did. And then towards the end, the president speaks. Now, it's a thing where the White House Correspondents Association, as a singular entity, invites the president to join them. This is not the president's thing where he invites the press. That is not what this is. And for Donald Trump's first term, he did not go to this. He refused to go. And
he knew he'd get picked on? Is that
he was like, I'm gonna get picked on, these people are so terrible to me. And then I think they had Michelle Wolf was the
I remember that. She was like very funny and
so funny. She was like, maybe she was born, maybe it was so good about Huckabee. And so and then they were like, okay, well, it was so offensive to people that we're just going to have historians speak now. And then, of course, during the Biden era, during COVID, obviously, when they brought it back, the smoky eye. Yes, yeah, Anne Marie in the chat, the smoky eye. She burns her lies and turns them into a smoky eye. So he's decided now, because he's king of the world, that he's going to come back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he's going to make it all about him. Now, obviously, there was an attempted assassination plot or something with some crazy person running in. So he needs to do it again. We got to do it again, guys. And I have to say, I was watching the AP, because they've got cameras all over the ballroom. First of all, they moved it from the Hilton to the Waldorf Astoria, which was previously owned by Trump. So of course he's got to like be there and like talk about the chandeliers, and he's like, I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm watching like the pre-feed, right, of everyone mingling. And like the usual suspects are there. You see Caitlin Collins, Wolf Blitzer, Garrett Haig, like a bunch of people from NBC. And then I see Kristen Welker of Meet the Press standing in a gaggle of people. Stephen Miller and Katie Miller just yucking it up. Yucking it up like Americans are not being shot in cold blood in broad daylight on the streets of the United States of America, that immigrants are not being dragged from their homes and put into concentration camps in which they are denied basic human rights. So she's yucking it up with these people, and it's like, you know, it's all Trump world, and it's really just disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting. So Wei Zhejiang, am I saying it right?
Yeah.
She gets up and she introduces him, and she's like, the president has always been a deal maker, and he's made deals, and the First Amendment, that's a deal, and we have a deal with it, or whatever.
No, the First Amendment is not a deal. The First Amendment is sacrosanct law.
One would think
you don't cut deals on the fucking First Amendment. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dad.
One would think as the president or whatever role this is, to be the head of the WHCA, that you wouldn't say this. Now, Wolf Blitzer does take an opportunity to really kind of like stick it to him, which was pretty great. And there was a camera right on Trump's face during the whole thing. It was all about the Epstein file coverage.
Well, because they gave the Wall Street Journal an award.
They gave a Wall Street Journal journalist. It was about the card, right, with the signature and the naked
Epstein,
body or whatever.
yeah.
Epstein, and there's, you know, it's like he was gonna sue them and blah 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 blah, and they kept on going. They published anyways. So at least he did that, you know. And Trump looked visibly angry. So I'm gonna put up Aaron Rupar's. Aaron Rupar, if you don't know him on social, fantastic guy. He clips and watches these things, so we don't have to. I can't tell you how many times I've used this man's clips over the years to put ads and videos together. So God bless you. But we're just gonna go through his feed a little bit this morning, and just watch some of these. So here is Trump whining about the Epstein Award that Wolf Blitzer gave to the Wall Street Journal.
That was very beautiful, but this has not been an easy evening, all these awards. Do I have a say in those awards, all those awards? But it's great to be back at a place that I know very well because I built it.
Yeah, it's good, because I built it,
What did he build?
Because he used to own that where the Waldorf Astoria is now, but it's not like he built the building.
No, that was the old post office.
Yes, like stop it. I can't. Okay, so then he jokes about serving a third term.
But just like my presidency, the second time is always better. It's always better. And the third time will be better yet.
And they cheer.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to, again, that is Garrett Hake. And this is the table. This is NBC. And they're all laughing because it's all so funny. It's all
Hilarious.
so funny. A president joking about, you know, stealing an election and you know, it's all just fun and games. To which I have to say, I don't understand, again, how the people of the press and the media do not understand that no amount of groveling or fluffing or appeasing this man will ever be enough for him to not throw you in the gulag. So here he is. He was slurring, obviously, sundowning at a certain time.
Exactly 20. They say, sir, it's about 21 pounds. I said, not good. But I want to thank the outgoing president of the White House Correspondents' Dinner Association. Now, she won't admit it, and she should not admit it. It sort of became friendly.
And then it was especially horrible to women, journalists, and women in general. I have to say,
So surprising.
he never does this. So, you know what I mean? Like, he never says anything horrible about women. He doesn't call them nasty or anything. So, like, we're, you know, shocking. But I do want to just say that of all the stuff that we've watched Trump do over the last 10 years, I have to say that just physically and verbally, this might be one of the worst. And it just was one of the most vile displays of Donald Trump probably ever that I've seen. And like, just considering the audience as well. So here's the next one. Trump saying Jackie Heinrich is nasty.
And wait a second, just to be clear, Jackie Heinrich is the Fox News Washington correspondent. She works for Fox News, and she is dating, I think she's engaged to a Republican member of Congress from Pennsylvania who's in a very swing district and sometimes doesn't vote with Trump because he doesn't want to lose a seat because he's one of the people who might lose a seat this November.
I hope he does.
Trump cannot forgive this guy for not voting with him 100%. And therefore, he's turned on his fiance, Jackie Heinrich from Fox News about it. The fact that Fox has not put a stop to this shit, because I know that they talk to him all the time, is inexcusable for not standing up for their person, especially because they have a direct pipeline to him. But of course, they never will. This would never, by the way,
especially for a woman,
never would have happened. Well, yeah, no comment because I can't.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Comment. They suck. Yeah. So here he is. This, by the way, she's very beautiful, and she's sitting up at the head table with them, with her husband, fiance, whatever it is, and he just starts insulting her to her face, and she's like,
with us, right? But let me also thank the incoming president of the Correspondents Association, Jackie Heinrich. She can be very tough as a reporter, I will tell you. She can be nasty. She looks so beautiful, but she can be so nasty. How could that happen? But she just got married to a very successful congressman, a very good congressman. I'd like to have a couple of more votes from it. That's okay. On occasion, he shows a little independence. We don't like that. But now he's a very professional guy, and he loves our country. But that's a big thing with us, right?
Moving on.
It makes me physically so uncomfortable. Like, it sickens me. And one of the reasons, the way he says beautiful like that.
Oh, it's terrible.
It sounds exactly like my father.
No.
It's so weird. And I wrote a whole essay about this a few months back after we went to visit him. Sorry, this is a bit of a tangent, but I'm explaining why I'm sitting here cringing. That my father and Trump are very similar. They're both New Yorkers. My dad's was a big supporter. We did not give him a ballot in Florida. You're welcome. Didn't help. But when my daughters and I went to visit him last year, he made my older one especially so uncomfortable because all he kept saying was like, "You're so beautiful." That same beautiful. You're so beautiful. And it's men like this who can only ever see women for how they present physically. And the only value is pleasing their eye. And I hear it like it's so dangerous, even though it sounds benign and it sounds like a compliment. Who doesn't want to look pretty? It's not. It's dangerous. It's disgusting. And it's disgusting. And it's one of the reasons why I don't watch these things live. I can take in small bites while I'm watching them with you too, but
and it's good to do it in a group like this, you know what I mean? So we can stop and go. And it's funny because Johnny in the chat was saying, I was having such a good morning. I promise we'll get back to fun things here in a second.
Well, speaking, somebody said Trump is bisexual, and I think we have a clip about that too somewhere. Right.
We're getting to it.
Yeah.
Gay Trump was
out last night.
He was out. He was out. He was partying.
Gay Trump. Well, should have gone up Connecticut Avenue to DuPont Circle, which is the gay neighborhood in DC, which is where the Hilton is, where the previous thing was held, because that's where we could have gone to satisfy his gay. He was gay. Trump,
going on.
Gay Trump was out last night, friends. We'll get to that in a minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so Aaron Rupar, his commentary is always very funny to me also because it's very dry and witty. He said, whatever magic Trump once had as a public speaker to non-cult audiences is long gone. He only knows now how to speak to his base of people who laugh at all his jokes. So this is a room that's partially for him, but a lot of people aren't. So.
But this place is really the largest group of Trump derangement syndrome people ever put together at one time, I suspect. Some of you are lucky that our last dinner was cut short because I had brought with me what would possibly have been, I'm telling you, I had something. I was going to go after you. I feel so badly doing this. It's going to be such a letdown. Oh, yeah. But your lives were really in danger the last time for an opposite reason. But on the plus side, your careers were saved, and we have we really do. We have a complete and total. I love the words complete and total. They say, but it means almost the same thing. I said, it doesn't matter when you say it. It's called emphasis. It's called emphasis. But everyone is now really warming up. The new White House military center, drone port, highly protected ballroom. We have our ballroom. The windows are this thick. I said to the people, well, if a bullet hits, what happens? Nothing. Nothing. It bounces.
In that short clip, we went from calling the press having Trump derangement syndrome and that he was going to go after them so hard before the gunman came at the first version of this a couple months ago, and then he starts talking about a word. What was it that he said?
Total and absolute.
He was like, it means the same thing, but what was it that he said?
I don't.
Whatever. It was a vocabulary word that he seemed to be confused about. And so he's telling us about his new vocabulary word. And then he goes into the ballroom, which then again, he always tells on himself. And I'm sure that, there's more to this. I'm sure that he will let leak, but talking about what's going on underneath the ballroom is a military center that's going to have all kinds of national security things. And there's going to be a medical center. And then there's going to be a thing on the roof with snipers.
What?
Yeah. So, emphasis. Yes. Thank you, Michelle, Anna. It was emphasis. He's like, it's a word that they say. It doesn't mean the same. Emphasis. And I'm like,
what's he talking about though?
It's just, this is affordability, right? He's just like, oh, it's this new word that I've learned about.
Emphasis is a new word he's learned.
Trump is insulting fake Tapper to complete silence at the White House Correspondents' Center. Again, Jake Tapper, who spent all his time writing a book with Alex Thompson from Axios about Joe Biden's dementia.
Yeah.
By the way, lack thereof. But Joe Biden's health, let's just say in general, implying that he has dementia, implying that he's got, all these mental issues. When this is the man who is president again.
People that want to hear that. Most people don't care, but I would. I wouldn't want to hire Dylan anytime soon. Think of it. They hired Dylan Mulvaney, and their market cap has gone down by $35 billion. Who wrote that commercial? And then you have writer Josh Dorsey. He also received. He's been killing me for years. And yet tonight he shakes my hand. He hugs me. Everything nice. He kills me. Josh is amazing. He writes more stories than any human being. There's nobody that writes more than Josh. He'll write 4 stories about me a day, all different subjects. I mean, I had the other day 3 stories and one on he was upset about this. 1 was on page 7, 3 were on page 1. They were all written by Josh, but he's hit the big time and he's a workhorse. And yet, he's almost unhireable. He's just one of these guys. Wall Street Journal's lucky to have him. But it's unbelievable. He's almost unhireable. CNN is also here.
Stop.
Yeah, what was, I'm not even following this.
Lucky to have him, but he's unhireable. So let me tell you about Josh Dossey, who actually I know. Josh Dossey was at the Wall Street Journal. He went to the Washington Post. When the Washington Post became an arm of the Trump administration, he left and he went back to the Journal. Josh Dossey is an incredible reporter who's broken a tremendous amount of stories. And I don't understand this whole, they're lucky to have him, but he's unhireable. Again.
It made no sense. I have to go help my dog. I'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, keep going. Okay.
They didn't bring fake Tapper because he's had a rough couple of years, Fake has. He calls me up every once in a while. If I pick it up, pick up my phone. I used to go to this young lady. I'd say, any calls from the press? No, sir. I said, oh, now I'm the president of the United States, right? I'd say to Stephen Chung, is Stephen here someplace? Where's Stephen? He's one of the toughest.
Again, to which I will say, it doesn't, and because he's saying it right to their faces, and they just sit there and laugh. And he's like, they write all these stories about me, and then they come up basically and kiss my ass, and then I'm going to get up here again, and I'm going to insult them, and then they're going to continue to do it. How these people are shameful, shameful, and have done an incredible disservice to the American people. Let's see. Then he retweets a bunch of people. Oh, he retweeted me. Yay. Let's see. Then what's that?
Let's get to gay Trump. Where's gay Trump?
We're getting there.
Oh my gosh. We got a comment in the chat that I'm gonna read while you look for that, if that's okay, from Jessica. As someone with a father with dementia and Alzheimer's, episthetic, slurring, aphasia, confabulation, mixing people and ideas, going to old stories, and so many more. Fun fact about me, I am double degreed as a speech pathologist. That was my first career. I worked with dementia and stroke patients, and like co-signing all of this. Like it's he's dysarthric, the slurring, he does seem to have, I don't know if it's quite aphasia, which is a loss of language after stroke, but certainly is leaning in that direction. And yeah, the confabulation is off the charts, like the mixing up of stories, past and present, and not being able to have a clear rational thought going from point A to point B. Like I cannot believe this is our president. I still.
And you know what I have to say, Dana, to everything you just said.
Yeah.
Where is the corporate media? And I sincerely mean this, to call up you or somebody like you, actually 3 or 4 people like you.
Someone way more recently experienced than me, but yes.
But somebody who's credentialed in this field, because we are like, look, any of us who've had family with dementia see what this is, right? But I'm not qualified to say this. Like, it seems to me as somebody who, again, who's had close family members with dementia, that, what do I know, right? But somebody like you knows. People who are Alzheimer's experts know. And I know you're not supposed to diagnose somebody that you've never met and so on and so forth. But that's the bullshit thing about corporate media. They don't want to go there. And then as soon as he's out of office, or basically dead, because the problem is that while he's alive, the cult is still strong, even if he's out of office. But once he's dead, they're going to start talking. They're going to say, back in 2026, excuse me, during the White House Correspondents' Dinner, we were all sitting on pins and needles because we were terrified about what he was saying, because he obviously seemed like he was having a stroke or he had dementia. And we were all terrified, and we got back to the White House and we said, oh my God, thank God he got through that alive. That story will eventually be written by Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, or Josh Dawsey, or Jake Tapper.
Yeah.
But why isn't that story being written now?
Why? Well, you know why.
You know why? But this is why corporate media, and then they're upset that their ratings are going down. He's not, the thing about Trump is he's not wrong about some of this stuff. Like,
he's playing these people.
Like, he's not wrong that they're failing this network and failing that network. Because why would you tune in to watch these people stand up and deliver the news to you on, Monday morning or Monday afternoon or Monday evening, when you saw them sucking up to this guy on Saturday night or Friday night? And as opposed to, and look, he went after Caitlin Collins in the most despicable,
we're getting there,
awful way. But I just want to say this about Caitlin Collins, because I do know her. Caitlin Collins is a pro.
Yeah.
She's unflappable. Really good. She's a pro. CNN actually is very lucky to have her. What you see in real life and what you see, at least from my experience, and what you see on TV, she's the same person. She's just like, get up, do my job. She happens to be an attractive woman. She happens to be a young woman. I think she's only in her early 30s, or maybe.
Yeah, she's very young.
Yeah.
He objectifies this woman. We'll get to that in a minute. Like, I don't know what. And to be honest, she's not going to report on this because she doesn't want to make herself the news. But the truth of the matter is, CNN should report on this, because you have the President of the United States objectifying a woman. I don't give a shit if she's at CNN or she's at NBC or she's, on Nickelodeon. Like, this is coverage that they need to provide, and they need to talk to people about this. And frankly, they need to talk to people like me. This one I can actually talk to, because I spent a lot of time working with people who've been harassed in the workplace. And I will tell you right now, when the most powerful man on earth harasses you in front of, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of people who will eventually see this clip, that is something to be discussed. because you have to go to the
Yes.
White House the next day, which she does on Monday morning, and do your job talking to and dealing with your harasser who has the ability, frankly, to destroy your job by cutting off access to you if you don't
Mhm.
sit there and take his harassment.
Yep.
Yes.
Typical textbook case, sexual harasser with a power imbalance.
And the
Yeah.
media has Stockholm syndrome, and
Yeah.
and they'll listen. Oh well,
You're going in and out, Michelle. Sorry again.
can you hear me now?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say they all have Stockholm syndrome, and
Mm.
the thing that they'll all say, right? The president, we have to cover. Well, yeah, there's a way to cover this, and you should. People should know about this, but there's a way of doing it in a way that's not just regurgitating the shit that he says as though it's fact or lies or normal, and you frame it in a way that that not just reports like the odds of these races or the odds that what he's going to do is bad or what this is going to do. You have to report on the stakes or the ramifications and like what this means and how this will affect people, and they're just like incapable of doing this. Incapable.
And quite honestly, the White House correspondence needs to put out a statement.
They won't.
They will not, but this is what I would do. Put out a statement saying that the sexual harassment to which our professional female reporters were exposed in the form of a joke. It's always, trust me, friends.
Always a joke.
I have an NDA, so I can't talk about it, but it always starts with a joke.
Oh, you don't have a sense of humor.
Always.
Yeah, you don't have a sense of humor about it, right? Always starts with a joke. He harassed Jackie
Heinrich.
Take a
joke, right?
He harassed Jackie Heinrich, who was the incoming president of the White House Association. He harassed Caitlin Collins.
He harassed Caroline Leavitt.
He harassed Caroline Leavitt, but God bless.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, sort of whatever, but it's still inappropriate.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but the point is, you don't just gloss over that and say, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. Like, what you're seeing is a sexual predator using his power, of which he has more than anybody else on earth at the moment, to harass women whose jobs depend on access to the White House, which he can cut off at any moment should he choose to do that.
It's like any man in power in any position at any workplace anywhere in the world.
The difference is it used to be locker room talk. It used to be done in private. It used to be done behind closed doors. He's doing this out in the open now for two reasons. One is he's so high in his own supply that he knows there's not going to be any ramifications. But two is, and this is the part that I can't, I'm not credentialed to talk about, but it seems like fairly obvious to this layperson, is that he's got dementia. And when you have dementia, you start saying things out loud, like your inhibitors disappear. And you start saying things that you think, but you don't necessarily say out loud under normal circumstances.
Yeah.
Why are the three of us sitting here talking about this? Why is the White House correspondents and all the people who are there not getting up this morning, going on all their respective shows, blowing out their programming and talking about this?
I think you know the answer to that. I realize these are rhetorical questions, but
of course,
you're 100% like, this is abuse at scale.
Yes.
And that's it.
The whole country.
Period.
The whole country. Like all of us
country.
are being abused over and over and over and over again. Like we are in an abusive relationship, not only with this man, but the entire movement behind
everyone. Yeah, because there's a room full of your peers laughing at him uncomfortably, maybe, but everybody's laughing. So
everyone's laughing.
It's that old like pick me cool girl syndrome of like, I don't want to be the one.
It is very pick me,
especially because you can't. There will be disastrous consequences if you're the one to speak out. And so here's somebody like will champion you.
Well, but I'll tell you something. If you're a high school kid, if you're a high school boy watching this, right?
I
happen to have one that's going to high school right now. Now I hope I raised him better than this, and I think I have. But if you're just a high school kid a boy who's watching this, you're seeing the president of the United States harassing women at scale, as you said, Dana. And you're saying to yourself, well, holy shit, I guess this is appropriate to say out loud. So I'm going to go to school tomorrow or Monday or whenever the hell school comes back in September. And I'm going to say to all of, to these girls who I go to school with, hey, you're looking pretty hot, like in front of the whole lunchroom, the whole cafeteria,
Right.
and it's going to be okay. Now, it's not going to be okay. They're going to get into deep trouble if they do this at school. If you get punished, sometimes.
Not-
My point is,
not always.
if we punish, look, there's certain states that have bullying laws, right? Like New Jersey has a bullying. You can't bully somebody. Like in New Jersey, if you were to do this, I believe this person would be in deep trouble because there's a state law against bullying. The truth of the matter is that if we have kids who would get in trouble for saying something like this, why the hell are the most tapped in and connected people on earth who have the biggest megaphone on earth not calling this bullshit out when it's directed at them? Because those girls don't have the megaphone to do this in the cafeteria, but they do. CNN.
And this is how they're learning, right? Like,
well, think about it. If you're 14 years old, Donald Trump has been at the forefront, not just of culture, like how we all have known him for the last 40 years, but at the forefront of American politics in the news since they were 8 years old. 8.
Yep.
Yeah. Just to keep going through here, because there's a lot. So he starts going on about the chandeliers, and then he's like, oh, the glass is made from Czechoslovakia. Like, who even cares? And then he says this, and again, Donald Trump does not joke. He laughs and he makes things in jest, sort of, but he's never joking. And this is what he says about David Ellison, who's gonna own all the things, huge Trump supporter, billionaire.
Great feeling.
This.
But tonight's event, thank you. But tonight's event is even crazier than the last time. In fact, it's so successful that I've been informed by CBS News' David Ellison, who's going to do a fantastic job. He's the owner. He bought it, spent a lot of money, and he's going to make, I think, fantastic changes and keep some of the great stuff going. But that next year they're going to call it the Trump White House Correspondent. Tell me that. And I like that very much. We're going to change the name of it, okay? Well, it's going to be so hot, just like our country is hot. We are hot, by the way. Great feeling. But tonight's event, thank you.
So, and Julie, when you got up earlier, I was saying that like this is a unique thing in which the White House Correspondents Association invites the president. This is separate from the White House. This is its own thing, singular, has nothing to do with the White House or the government. And so the fact now that he's saying like David Ellison told me they're going to rename this the Trump White House Correspondents' Dinner. People should absolutely expect that.
Well,
just
look,
like the Trump Kennedy Center and everything else.
He's kind of joking, except for the fact that Ellison owns CBS. He's potentially going to acquire by next year CNN. Fox News is already basically a subsidiary of the Trump White House. Half the people in that room are going to be working for Donald Trump, literally, but figuratively.
Yeah,
but he's not wrong. He's not. You don't have to rename it to understand what's happening there.
Yeah, but as that will though signal in a branding, he is Mr. Marketer. So he says. Then he makes fun of Bobby Kennedy Jr.
How's that one going? Not too good. I hope that everyone finally got to enjoy their entire very delicious beef tenderloins, very special beef. And I want you all to know that Bobby Kennedy, who's right here, personally ran over the cow in his car. And he cut it up and he brought it here for you to eat tonight. So it's very fresh. And Bobby also suggested an appetizer featuring his favorite cut of male raccoon roadkill. But we drew the line at that, Cheryl. We said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We love Bobby. I'll tell you, it is a piece of work. You think it is fun, but he is a very different kind of a person, I will tell you. But he has what it takes, and he's...
What does that mean?
I'll tell you what it means. That is a humiliation tactic. He used Robert Jr., right, in order to ingratiate himself, I don't know, with the anti-vax crowd or whatever it is. He doesn't like him. He probably thinks he's a freak because Donald Trump, again, to Julie's point, has like all these hang-ups and things with like blood or pee or whatever, like germs, right? This man is a freak. He doesn't like him. And he just, in front of millions of people, just humiliated a Kennedy.
which is what he wants to do because he hates that family because
He hates that family.
He wanted to be accepted by them
Mm-hmm.
because in his mind, as in the mind of all 80-year-olds, the Kennedys are the royal family of the United States, no longer for many years, but in his mind, they still are. So he got a Kennedy, he poached a Kennedy, and now he's going to humiliate them because the Trumps have to be bigger than the Kennedys. And by the
This is
way,
what he does.
by the way, I have to say, and I know it's not fair because she's just the wife. What the fuck is wrong with Cheryl Hines?
No,
I mean,
I'm sorry. It is fair.
if
She's
you-
fair game.
You know what? If you love your husband, God bless. Don't come to this shit. Like you don't have, like Melania doesn't.
Right. She's like, peace out.
You don't have
I
to.
has better things to do.
Well,
I
that's
sit at
what-
home. I wash my hair. I pack my suitcase with
I-
my son.
Oh, I love my suitcase.
I've got to watch my son pack his suitcase. But like Cheryl, what the fuck are you doing?
No, man. If my husband was saying and doing the things that this man does, and the lives that are being lost because of his crazy
Oh my God.
batshit nonsense, not to mention his grifting off of the defunding of scientific research in this country,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Come for me. Come for me. If that ever
Right.
happens, it won't. But like,
By
you
the
know what I'm
way,
saying?
Johnny,
Like,
you're right. You're right. And I have to say again, I get it. You love your husband. You are in it for the long haul. I get it. I would tell you something. You could love your husband and still not defend this shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
Yeah.
asking you to get divorced. Like if you're into it, you're into it.
I'm sorry, but like if you're married to Saddam Hussein, like you know what I mean? Like it's just I just
you know what? I don't know. My whole thing is
you're
like
the company you keep.
I don't know, to each their own, to be honest. But listen, my husband has defended as a defense lawyer some pretty interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them I disagree with him on as to whether they're innocent or not. And I'm not going to go out there. Some of them have been very public. Some of them have been on Dateline. And he's been on Dateline with some of them. But I'm not going to go out there and Dateline and be like, yes, my husband is absolutely right. This person is innocent. Like, I don't think this person's innocent. And I'm not going to go out there and say so. And I don't understand why she goes out there and buys into this shit.
Yeah.
Right. She's underlining it. While we're talking about this week, can I just do two of these, particularly to Bobby, as the president
Yes.
just called him?
Yes.
I just had to throw out a lot of fucking salad that looked
Me too.
really good. And it's
Me
90
too.
degrees this week in Seattle, or it was.
Mhm.
Yep.
We never get that kind of heat. And fuck you for taking our salads at peak summer.
Yep.
That's
know.
one.
I
The
just
other
ordered a
one-
whole thing of romaine and I'm like,
I just
I
threw
don't
out a
Right.
whole prepackaged, like those salad things that
Yeah.
you buy that are
I love
the
the Taylor
anything
Farms
prepackaged.
salad
Taylor
kits.
too. Yes, and I had a bunch of them delivered to my house, and I opened up the fridge. I was going to make one for lunch, and I looked, and it was Taylor Farms, and I'm like, God damn! And I posted it on.
God damn it, trash, because it's not worth
Trash.
taking a chance on this.
Yep.
The other one, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I have a PBS link here. The CDC vaccine safety page changed
Mhm.
their statement about autism. It used to say there is no conclusive evidence that vaccines lead to autism because that study was long debunked. And then now the official page says maybe they cause 6, 7, who knows? They changed the actual language on our official government page about this.
Mhm.
It makes my head explode.
And the United States is about to lose our measles eradication completely,
Oh.
which is the
Oh, yeah.
most embarrassing, horrible. I mean, and here's the other thing too about the measles, because this mofo, RFK Jr., who's never had to worry about having a job or money or anything in his whole life, has parachuted into countries that do have any whatsoever to tell people in these small villages not to have vaccines for their children, and it kills them. And
God.
measles is one of those things that you can catch. By the way, you can't vaccinate a baby until it's like what, a year old or something.
Year
for
old.
measles.
You get your MMR at a year. Yeah.
Right. And if you were to catch measles as an infant, you can recover and then a number of years later have health problems that can kill you very quickly and very easily.
From measles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought once you were over it, you
I've
were
been
over
reading.
it.
Yeah, there's story. I read a story recently about this woman whose like child died at 5 years old because they had measles a number of years ago, and it was a whatchamacallit, not
Like a Maha mom?
yeah, like a complication or something. I don't know if it was a Maha mom or what, but it was, or if it was just an infant catching it, but it was like their child died years later. So screw Cheryl Hines and her husband. They can all go F off. They're horrible people and they have blood on their hands. So
So much blood on their hands.
he couldn't help himself. He makes the thing about Joe Biden, blah blah blah. Shocking. Going. Okay. And he talks about the UFC fight. Okay. Again, he's not joking, guys. He's not joking. He just never is. Even if he's like, it's not true, he's not joking.
The big fight was such an amazing success that tonight I'm pleased to announce that we're going to host an even bigger one right in front of the White House. Every Friday night, every Saturday night, we're going to have fights in front of the White House. But we do have something coming and I'm only kidding. The one thing about the press that I learned, don't be sarcastic. Because I'm a very sarcastic person, and I get sarcastic, and most people know that, but you have some bad people that will write it exactly like I say it. And I said I was only kidding. But
yeah, sure. And there he is, sort of dozing off. That's fun. He looks great, let me tell you.
Very handsome man.
Very looking great, looking rested. Let's see. The crowd doesn't seem too amused by Trump going on and on about 450,000 people being turned away from his speech. Let's see. Oh, this is great too. Then he makes fun of Chris Christie and Jerry Nadler.
But I can exclusively reveal to you this evening that for the heaviest of the heavyweights, we will have sloppy Chris Christie, one of the sloppiest human beings you'll ever meet, fighting, I would say, I could mention the governor of Chicago, but I'm going to mention instead Jerry
Governor
Nadler.
of Chicago?
And they're fighting for a big piece of cheesecake, big fat piece of cheesecake. Who the hell wrote that line? But it is true. But I can exclusively reveal to you this evening that for the heaviest of the heavyweights, we will have.
Okay, so he's making fun of Chris Christie, J.B. Pritzker, Jerry Nadler, making fun of their weight. And I kind of just want to be like, first of all, not that I'm surprised, but have you looked in the mirror?
Right? Like, fun. That's like a pot kettle situation.
Yeah. And also, J.B. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois, not Chicago.
Right, not Chicago. The thing is, they would have if Obama or Biden had said that one little clip of him saying the governor of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been enough that it would have been like, what an idiot.
Yeah, like it would have been weeks of headlines. So here's our favorite part that's coming up.
Oh God,
he talks about
more?
Anderson Cooper.
Okay.
First time up in terms of that. And we had a sort of little preview. And then Anderson Cooper is going to fight Lawrence O'Donnell. I'm not a fan of Lawrence O'Donnell. I like Anderson, actually, because he's covered me well for many years. And he went bad as soon as I went for politics. But for years, he loved interviewing. I did so many interviews with him, and he was great. But, he's got a little different persuasion than me in many ways, actually.
Oh.
And Lawrence O'Donnell, never liked him, never thought he had any talent. But he's still making a living, so I can't knock it.
So between this, so obviously he's like ad-libbing about the persuasion of Anderson Cooper, who is an openly gay man. And the thing he says before about the cheesecake line, he goes, who the hell wrote that line? Someone clearly, obviously, wrote this speech for him, and he's weaving, as he does, throughout the speech. I want to know who wrote this speech. I want to know if it was like Stephen Miller calling Greg Gutfeld and being like, let's write some jokes, because neither are very funny. But these are somebody said in the comments, like very Borscht Belt. Like he is yes. He's like an opening to the opening comic, in the Catskills, and 70 years ago. Let's see.
Take my wife, please.
And then he goes after Don Lemon.
But he's still making a living, so I can't knock it. But we had a contest for who had the lowest ratings and the lowest IQ on television. And that was actually Don Lemon, I think. You know, when I said that he's the dumbest man on television, I said, you know, when you say some things, you never make a comeback. It's not like, oh, gee, hey, Don, let's have dinner some night. But I know what I'm saying. And then you have Bette Midler and Jane. But
He says, I know what I'm saying.
So, because I got to wrap this up, because I have a starving kid here who's texting me nonstop from across the couch right now.
I love that.
That he's spamming me right now. So
Does he need you to make food?
He needs me to go get food because there's no food in his house. But he just got here and he's hungry in fairness to him. But I will say this: weight, looks, sexual orientation. Like, I'm trying to tick off all the Title VII violations that he's accomplishing. And I don't know what to say about this other than what we've already said, which is it's a disgrace that the White House correspondents showed up to this.
Oh, a Rosie O'Donnell's joke. I missed that. That's fun.
What did she say? I can't read it on the little screen there.
He said, then I'm told even Rosie O'Donnell reached out. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much. She was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respects to Donald J. Trump, of course.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's right here.
Out from Ireland, she really wanted to be on a little pencil neck. And then I'm told
Adam
that
Schiff.
even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me.
Yeah, so he goes from calling Adam Schiff pencil neck to Rosie O'Donnell. And then, nobody the Academy anymore because they went, oh, that's the thing. Here's the Caitlin Collins thing.
Yeah, that's not just a guy, but yeah, please.
Caitlin Collins, he uses a trans woman to attack both of them in the most disgusting way. And I wish there had been a camera on Caitlin Collins's face because I would have liked to see that.
But they'll learn their lesson. But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlin Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlin, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Caitlin, do you ever smile? Smile.
Rage.
You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile, Caitlin. Just smile. But we attack, and I thought Caitlin had really made it big with a major new sponsorship, but then I informed her that it wasn't her on the Bud Light can. It was Dylan Mulvaney. And Dylan Mulvaney cost Bud Light $35 billion in market cap. That was the worst commercial ever made, by the way, for those few people that want to hear that. Most people don't care, but I would. I wouldn't want to hire Dylan anytime soon. Think of it, they hired Dylan Mulvaney and their market cap has gone down by $35 billion. Who wrote that commercial? And then you have writer Josh.
Okay.
How old is that news? Like,
okay. First of all,
Years. Yeah.
I guarantee you, I know it was on Caitlin Collins' face, which is nothing. Second, for those of us who live in cities, how many times when you were younger did you walk down the street with some guy walking by you and saying under his breath,
Oh, God.
smile. Why aren't you smiling? Smile.
As
And
a waitress, as a bartender, as like, I
just walking down the street, smile.
Rage.
Rage. Like, I cannot think of anything that enrages me more than when people are like, you're a pretty girl. Why don't you smile? Why don't you smile? And
Why don't you shove it up your ass?
again, you have the president of the United States who's telling her to smile. Her job, she's the White House correspondent for CNN. Her job in large, I'm not going to fire her, obviously, if she, gets cut off. But the reality is her job depends on covering him. Look what they did to Acosta in the first term when he covered Trump, right? Acosta covered him fantastically. And now CNN, basically pushed him out. And so, but she's a woman and she's a young woman. And then
It's not the first time he's done this to her.
Consistently. And then you're comparing her to Dylan Mulvaney, who I guess you might say, first of all, Dylan Mulvaney is beautiful.
Yeah.
Second, not that that's relevant. But second, I guess you're trying to say she looks like Caitlin Collins, and therefore Caitlin Collins, like the whole thing.
Does she look like Caitlin Collins?
I don't think she looks like Caitlin Collins. I think she's got dark hair like Caitlin Collins.
And has dark hair. Like,
yeah,
okay.
She's got dark hair. I think that's it. And
yeah, I'm looking at them both now.
I mean, again, gender discrimination, sexual harassment, LGBTQ. I mean, like,
Mhm.
there's so many protections that this guy's violating.
Then he
Yeah.
made a joke just really quick about Ilhan Omar, saying Ilhan Omar and her brother are thinking about moving together, very much in love. She should get the hell out of our country.
Ew.
She is an American citizen and a congresswoman representing the state of Minnesota, part of, District of Minnesota. She is a co-equal branch of government. He should get the hell out of the country. How about that?
Yeah.
So no-
Also, I do have to say, because he's disparaging Dylan Mulvaney, like, just completed her first run on Broadway. So Dylan Mulvaney's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Whatever,
Just fine.
whatever, like Budweiser completely biffed that campaign. It's been like, that's very old news now.
What is that, like
years.
6 years?
I don't know. They like started the campaign, but then they didn't. They backed down, and
Yeah.
like they didn't. The first rule of marketing is like, if you're going to support something, like you got to stand behind
Yeah,
it.
dig
Yeah.
in. Lean
So
in.
that's not Dylan's fault. And yeah, she was in 6. Like she was on.
Good.
Oh, right,
She
right,
just
right.
completed a run on Broadway. So like, Dylan Mulvaney's doing great.
Yeah.
She's probably not smiling at you. One final thought, because I know you have to go, but this is something I really want both of your opinions on. As I just saw on YouTube comments that someone had said that it on one of my shorts, well, this one looks like she's got TDS. I want to start reframing this Trump derangement syndrome, because I heard him say that about many people, and a lot of you journalists have TDS. You wrote a brilliant article about this, Julie, about the dangers of Trump derangement syndrome. There's legislation in the works to actually make it a real diagnosis as a mental health disorder if you disagree with the president. They are calling it Trump derangement syndrome, TDS. And without digging too deeply into this, they are also trying to stigmatize mental health and to make it possible to do involuntary hospitalization for mental health disorders. So it's only a few clicks down to say, oh, if you politically disagree with our president, you are mentally ill, and therefore we can involuntarily commit you.
You guys, this is straight out of the Soviet/Russia playbook.
Yes.
They would put dissidents into, trust me, my parents, if they were still here, would tell you chapter and verse on this. They would put dissidents in mental institutions, journalists, activists, anybody who disagrees with the system, because communism/socialism, in their view, was so obviously the right form of government, and so obviously the greatest apotheosis of what you could be as a form of government, that if you didn't believe in it, you were obviously mentally ill.
Right.
How is that any different from what Donald Trump is trying to do right now? And then, by the way, they put you in these insane asylums. I don't know, these were not like mental health centers. They were literally insane asylums, straitjackets. They would pump you full of medicine for your own good. If you ever emerged, which most people did not, you really were, at that point, you really were crazy.
Right.
Because they made you that way, right?
Yes.
And I mean, trust me, I'd rather be in the gulag working 12 hours, 18 hours a day than what they were doing to people there. That is what he is like. You guys, I know it's a Saturday and it's Dana's birthday and it's heavy. It's none of this is a joke.
It's not. And I feel like this is not a thing we may answer today. I would like to start repositioning when idiots online start coming and being like, you've got TDS, but like they're owning the narrative about that. It makes me angry, because to me, I'm like, you have Trump derangement syndrome because you think what he's doing is okay, because you watch those videos, you being anyone who's supporting him, you're watching those videos from the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, and you're like, yep, that's presidential. That's derangement. That's derangement. There's no way. I don't care how much you hate taxes. I don't care how racist you are. You cannot watch that old man who cannot put a cohesive thought together, who is insulting women, who's insulting queer people, who's insulting the press who are reporting on him.
Yeah.
And look at that and all that sort of speech and say, yep, that's presidential. That's derangement.
Yeah, and Rosie's right. Like, it's Trump's derangement syndrome. Like, you have to put the apostrophe S.
Yeah, Trump's.
Right?
Yes, I do believe that he is deranged. And look at that. Yeah. So I just wanted. I know it's my birthday. It's Saturdays for Sanity. We're not supposed to get too heated, but we all need a way to like a messaging statement around the question of TDS, both because the damage or the potential for harm is real. And also because like, I don't want them owning that messaging that like we're deranged because we watched something.
Oh, listen, this was
like that.
This was coined by Charles Krauthammer of Fox News a long time ago for Bush derangement syndrome. Bush derangement syndrome.
It's not even original.
So it's not even original. You've got, you're criticizing the Iraq War. You've got Bush derangement syndrome. Ha ha ha. But that was kind of done.
Really?
Yeah. So this goes back a long, long way. All right, friends, I got to go feed this kid before he tells me.
Yes. And as just send this aside in terms of Caitlin Collins and in solidarity with all the women who are watching here and everyone who loves women, this week was let me see how many years it's been, was the 178th anniversary of the first Women's Rights Convention at Seneca Falls. It took 72 years from those 2 days for any woman in this country to gain the right to vote in 1920. It was another 45 years for all women in this country to participate in our democracy. And here we are sitting in the year 2025, and the evangelical MAGA extremist authoritarian right is talking openly.
2026.
Where did I say 2025? Jesus Christ. 2026.
The Trump derangement syndrome's got
2026, they're talking openly about reversing the 19th Amendment and taking our rights away to vote. Donald Trump.
The SAVE Act is back, you guys.
Is talking about the SAVE Act, which would disenfranchise 40 million married women in this country from voting. So with that said, on our way out, I am going to play, if you don't mind. This is the ad that I made in 2024 with Alex Borstein and the Seneca Project, which I co-founded with Tara Setmeyer in honor of the Seneca Falls Women's Rights Convention. Was the first women's rights convention to ever happen in the world, not just the United States. So to remind you all how far we have come in the last 120, I don't even know. What am I saying? TDS, 100 years plus. How far we've come in this country and how far we have to go, because they are taking it back, especially when we have the president of the United States standing up at a podium telling a woman journalist to smile in front of an audience of hundreds of millions of people. So with that said, Dana, you are a queen. You're a mensch. We love you.
We love you. Have the best birthday ever.
Have the best birthday. Do all the things to yourself.
And thank you for bringing so much joy to our lives and to everybody on Substack and to the show. And you're just walking joy, and we love you. We're so happy that you're part of our world. So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen to that. Please take care of yourself today, Dana. Do all the things to bring you joy.
I will. I'm going out for crepes and coffee with my daughters next.
Love it. Get a crepe. We love a crepe.
We love a crepe.
And with that said, Kiddo Roginski, enjoy your lunch brunch. This is Seneca Falls from 2024, just FYI, with Alex Borstein from Family Guy doing the voiceover in the Seneca Project. This is what we did together. So with that said, everyone have a great weekend. Stand up for women. Smile. And we'll see you soon. Like and subscribe to the Mayday Network and Substack, all the things. We'll be here. See y'all soon.
In July 1848, courageous women came together in Seneca Falls, New York to start a movement. They dared to fight against treatment as second-class citizens. After decades of struggle, women fought and won the right to vote, to work without discrimination, to control our bodies, to even open bank accounts without the permission of a man. Each one was a triumph against those who believed we didn't deserve them. Well, today, those hard-fought victories are under attack. Donald Trump and his allies are determined to send us back to a time when we had no say, no freedom, no choice.
I got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Do we want a future where our daughters have fewer rights than our grandmothers? Where their bodies are state property? Their voices silenced? Their opportunities erased? We say hell no. We won't go back. This November, we must take back what is ours. For ourselves, for our daughters, and for the pioneers of Seneca Falls. It's up to us.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? There has to be some form of punishment.